Let's see how this goes. Second time around. If it cuts out again early, I will do a reset on everything. I don't know what is going on with Spectrum. I have reset all of the things multiple times. So there really shouldn't be an issue. So anyways, yeah, and we'll jump into this whole situation here too. These Marvel themed or themed Fortnite mixed together comics things that are kind of dropping hints to what next season's going to be, which is coming next week. This week, if you call it from Sunday. Is Sunday the beginning of a new? Because it's a weekend now. I'm calling it next week. That's like saying you're in the same week. I don't know. It feels almost the same as talking about after Christmas events when Christmas is on its way when you're a kid, or like you're on vacation and talking about things that are going to happen after your vacation, like when you're legitimately out doing something. So anyway, it's Sunday, it's the weekend. As usual, the channel is chasing people. Normally I'm out in the world covering, comic conventions and theme parks and race events, and I like the Star Wars half marathon. That's where I get these medals for finishing. I don't win anything. I very, very slowly run away from being unhealthy for the most part. I'm not avid. I love finisher medals, and I love finding an excuse to get them and using that desire to, find some heart health. I love that. Anywho, since I can't be out doing those things, covering those types of events, I can pop them down here and talking about them while playing Fortnite medium. I have my moments. Slowly get better, but that's not the goal for me. It's just kind of to have a laugh. Yeah. And instead of having a theme park behind me, I have, the game, or a comic convention behind me. There's this, it's appropriate now. The more they lean into these, these comic crossovers, it's like the more fitting it is for me, which is great. Don't get me wrong, I am dying to get out there and actually mix it up with, human beings and see cosplays. Like, that's the thing I think I miss the most. Because it's, that right now there are some baller cosplays being created. There's just so much downtime, and downtime for cosplayers means time to create. And I can't wait to see what they come up with. One that I really want to see is the Umbrella Academy Season 2, the dude that has the fish that's fish tank head, fish swimming around controlling the body. That one I want to see. That's going to be awesome. So I've got I'll pay attention to chat this time. Now that I'm going to curse myself, I know. Close this. Oh wait, let's read a comment. I'm going to curse myself by sending out a tweet saying that I'm doing this stream right now, because then all of a sudden I know Spectrum is gonna pull a fast one. Before we jump into the comic, and before I send that out, what the title of this stream is, I'm going through all the different fandoms, favorite TV shows and movies, mostly geek related, whatever that means, kind of, or adjacent, or maybe even not, and going through each one of those cast of characters and figuring out who the ideal hungover brunch guest. So there's a criteria, and I'll lay down that basic criteria that I would want in that during my first match, and then maybe jump into the cast. Today, I'm going to be going through characters in Westworld, which is a big cast, but I've pared it down. I'm not going to jump too deep into season 3 because I've only seen season 3 once, and it was more of me going like, what the heck is going on? And some of the characters made an impact, the new ones that were introduced. But I think season 3 will get its own for the second time I go through Brunch madness. And as this bracket is starting to shape up, I'm doing a Sweet 16, and I'll do another one later on. Because there are enough titles. I could even go through books, like go through like Ernie Klein books like Armada and Ready Player One, go through Hitchhiker's Guide, Anyways, yeah. I'm gonna send out a tweet. This is gonna. This makes me nervous. I'll send it out, then we can go through this comic real quick. There we go. It's already pre-written everything, so I'm sure I'm gonna spell check. Oh yeah. Westworld, hashtag spelled correctly. Best company for a hungover brunch. Yep. That's the right image. I've got like 10 people tagged in there. There we go. Tweet has been sent. And, Spectrum is watching and they're like, ha! Now your internet's gonna suck for like 20 minutes. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, let's check out this comic. And I'm going to read, and I'm sorry. Asgard, City of the Gods, Kingdom of Thor, 2 weeks. It had been only 2 weeks since Thor, though once... Oh, this is like they've added more? Or let me see, I'm going to make sure, because I went through this last night. Thor and Galactus successfully la-di-da. So Thor and Galactus... Oh, this is... Oh, okay. You know what? It's worth going through. Let's. This is cool. So, in case you haven't seen this yet, all right. Apologies. Let's real quick. So, Asgard, City of the Gods, Kingdom of Thor, 2 weeks. It had been only 2 weeks since Thor, once Prince of Asgard and God of Thunder, had been crowned King of the Golden City in his father's stead. And if you're just jumping in, this is Fortnite, trust me. When Galactus, devourer of worlds, crashed into his home, desperate and beaten and in the need of help, 2 weeks as king before Galactus told him of the coming of the Black Winter and the death of all things. Hey, maybe that death of all things could be the Marauders. And speaking of Marauders and Westworld, I have a theory. We'll get into that later. Of the existence of 5 special planets that, when consumed, would give Galactus the strength to push the winter back, to prevent its gnawing shadow from falling across the whole of reality. 5 special planets. Dude, this would be so cool if it was like somehow space themed. Because wasn't it cool like the way that the interaction that happened when there was that Travis Scott concert on the island? It wasn't on like the party island. It was literally in like, the island. I thought that functionality was super cool. And would be fun to figure out how to like fight inside of it. And so 2 weeks into bearing his father's crown and throne, Thor took a new title and rose as the new Herald of Thunder. That's not Chris Hemsworth. As seen in Thor 2020 #1. Okay. Together, Thor and Galactus successfully discovered one of the 5 planets. And after Thor evacuated the planet's inhabitants via the Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge of we know what the Bifrost is. This nerd's here, man. Come on. Galactus consumed the planet's energies, and they journeyed on to find the rest. So Galactus can absorb stuff. How is that going to play into Battle Royale Island? This is interesting. But then in the distance, in a moment existing between seconds, something else appeared. Far, far beyond the fields we know. This looks riftish. There, the power, infinite. It cannot escape its pull. If I feed on this, there will be nothing that can... Wait, is he seeing... I wonder if he's seeing the island, like the Battle Royale Island. That would be kind of cool. Galactus, no. He's like, bro, whatever. I must have it. Galactus will feed. Feed on the Marauders first, bro. Please. Come on. You forgot yourself, Galen. We have a mission. You cannot. So he called him by a name that he knows him as, other than Galactus, kind of like Scott Pilgrim when he's with Envy after he like beats her, like makes her boyfriend go poof into a pile of coins, and he's like, he calls her Natalie, and she's like, Natalie, don't calls me that anymore. Kind of like, bringing it down. No time. Have to warn them before he gets to them. He gets to them. Who gets to who? Is the them us? I'm sure there are like people that have broken this down and figured it all out and explained it somewhere on Twitter. I'll find it later. Looks like a rift to me. Alright, so we've gone through that one. Dude. There's Thor. The island, close to zero. He can feel it at once, the King of Thunder, as he soars above this strange and vibrant land. Vibrant? Maybe the previous map, maybe while it was covered with water, or last chapter, but not gonna call this island vibrant, thanks. It's green. It's very green. And overrun with marauders. Thank you. Something pulling at him. Look at that face. I don't see Chris Hemsworth pulling that face. I like that they're kind of like pulling away from that. I wonder what the skins will look like, as if, it's kind of neat. Trying desperately to work its magics on him to fight through the power. Cosmic and the Odin force running through his god veins. Someone tried really hard writing that line. He nor his ravens, I can't see it from here, and know the meaning of the magic, but in their search for answers, among this strange place, they find something else. I'm not reading that right. Hello, and well met, stranger. I mean you no harm. Oh, he's like, yeah, they're definitely going with old school, like, mythic Thor. Not, Americanized version. Hello and well met, stranger. I mean you know. I guess he did talk like that a little bit. I am Thor, king of Asgard. I come in peace. Please tell me, what is this place? Where am I? Homeboy has arrived. Please, no, again, I mean you no harm. I only just arrived. She's like, what? She's probably being played by some kid. Like, what in the absolute what is happening right now? Why is... I have no quarrel with you and your people. This is cool, dude. We'll get to the brunch battle. Don't worry, Westworld. We'll give you your due. But this is... Please, I have come to warn you all. I'm on your side. There is no need for battle, and I assure you, you do not want to do so against... Alright, who got him? Jonesy! What's up, dude? Very well then. Oh, so the sweaty kids saw Thor and wanted a trophy. Okay, okay. Thanks, dudes. So he's here. Thor's here to hang out and help us. We shoot him anyway. Very well then. I hope they make peace somehow. That's pretty cool. All right. Okay. Very interesting. Change gears and jump into the game here. So, we are on a quest to find the most appealing hungover brunch guest from the cast of the characters in Westworld. In a larger goal of setting up the bracket tournament, Sweet 16 NCAA style thing this round, So I'm going through a lot of different shows and movies and things to get it set up. I think I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 10. Yep, 10 of the 16 set up. This character will end up on a bracket with Caroline Forbes from Vampire Diaries and Bernadette Rostenkowski from The Big Bang Theory. So that should be interesting to see who ends up on a bracket with those two. And criteria-wise, I've broken this down each time, just kind of so you know the thought process going into this. One, the energy level's got to be right. Just chill, not super energetic, but not too comatose. So like hyper energetic was a reason why like a Peter Parker would be eliminated. Comatose would be like Kate from Lost, who's like, I would be sure she's got so much going on in her life. She would have tied way too many on the night before, and I'd be like, are you okay? Like, I would feel the need to like help. So somewhere in the middle there, like right kind of even, chill, that kind of thing. So that's one. Two, they would be keen to have this type of conversation. So like, this is the type of thing I put my mind to when I'm in that state. If I'm totally tired, if I've just gotten off work and have mush brain, if I'm hungover and I'm going to be doing a brunch or that kind of thing, because I put my mind to this type of task. So that, one, because of the fact that I love talking about these movies and shows and characters and performances and stories and that kind of thing, instead of just being like, yeah, it's rad, man, which is cool and all, like, yeah, let's high five or handshakes or whatever. Kind of let your mind kind of, go in different places, and the goal being pushing your mindset out of just being mush and hopefully being able to take advantage of it. So it's not a waste of a day, like kind of push yourself into a creative mindset. So that even if you're not going to be heavily active that day, it's going to hopefully kickstart something internally where you'll still be able to make something of the day. The conversation itself maybe not necessarily being that thing that makes like something out of the day, but it kind of pushes you to kickstart something. It makes sense in my brain places, I promise. And it would for the person that I end up choosing the character. 3, the biggest, not the biggest, but of those top 3 things that would put someone in the finals um, for the show. Today's Westworld again. It's someone who's going to be kind. Um, it's kind of a twofer when it relates to the wait staff and the people that are cooking the food, hosts, and all that kind of stuff. It's being kind to them and appreciative and grateful for what they're doing. Um, as folks in the service industry, and we're just going to assume that they're some of the good ones, because there are lemons in the bunch, and usually businesses they'll weed themselves out, so we'll just assume they're good help, cool, down to earth, salt of the earth peoples. And also being good to them and appreciative of what they're doing, and then also will be a little bit more in a mindset to take the wheel in that interaction. Because one, I know me, and I know I've already got like some social anxiety and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of amplified. Do I jump right in? Whatever that is, they seem very... Yeah, why not? Let's go see someone. Where are you at? There you are. Okie dokie. So those are the main criteria, and then I will... no, that's just health, isn't it? I need to find some... Ooh, that. Thank you for reading my mind, game. And then you kind of go through and you can eliminate, a fair amount of characters, depending on the show, just based on that. And then for those who make it through that criteria, you end up usually with like either a top 5 or maybe a top, a 3, depending on what. Sometimes there's a couple rounds to pare it down, depending on the show. Back to the Future trilogy was hard to find anyone to add to that list, just because I just didn't think ahead and realize, oh right, there's like a lot of high school students in that movie, and by design, they're just too energetic and likely wouldn't have been drinking, and I don't really want to, unless it's like my god kids, I don't, I lucked out with those, and luckily they turned out to be very good and super cool people as well. Same with my nephew. But moving on. So now we know the criteria, so we can jump into the cast of Westworld. I'm not going to go... I may have mentioned this already, but I am tired. Into season 3 characters that were introduced there. Yeah, I already said this, didn't I? I'll say it one more time. I've got no beef with you, shark. You leave me alone. Yeah, so we're not going to do newer characters. We can save that. Who's shooting? Hello. Oh, I'm a terrible shot, aren't I? Alright, let's get... No, don't go in the helicopter. I want to fight. There we go. Anyhow. There we go. Sniper rifle might come in handy later. lighter. I think I prefer that, dude. You're going to see the tone in this game change very quickly when Marauders show up. Oh yeah, my theory on the Marauders, and then I'll jump in. Okay, so I was going through a little bit of Westworld again, watching the first episode of season 2, and there's that scene when they like Bernard and those people that were hiding out in the barn after like that first season's massacre thing. Pretty sure the timeline. That's the thing with that show, man. Season 1, I got it. Like that little timeline twist. It was like one of them basically, and then it's like once you see it, you're like, oh, I can reconcile everything kind of pretty quickly. But season 2, jeez, it was like they took some liberties with that time jump back and forth and all this. I remember myself and a coworker would love that show and would show up and each day. Season 1 would be like, oh man, that episode, this and that, and we talk about it. Oh, that was so cool, and it was just a very fun conversation. And then when season 2 happened, we would sit down usually at lunch and just be like, so what? Yeah, that was basically the gist. But anyways, there's that. So Bernard and then those like investors or whatever are on the run, trying to find the access point, I think it was, and to get out. And dude sees the little Humvee type thing with what looked like those. Yeah, I'm better with that than I am with the shotgun. And here goes the GD internet. Son of a monkey. Alright. Let's find this. Every once in a while, when it's ugly like this, it's still the stream is still getting through. But until that little red X is gone, I'll hold off on my quest, my debate, if you will. 'Cause I don't want anyone to miss out on this sweet, sweet mind. You know what I'm saying? All right, looks like it might be trying to make him come back. Excuse me. Sort of. OBS is giving me the big red negative. So I'll just camp out here. Yeah, it's trying. I think it's the upload speeds. There was an attempt. Okay. Yeah, it's trying. Alright. Sort of. Kind of, sort of. I would like to see it in the green on the screen before I move on, but this Marauders thing. So yeah, they're the guy kind of sees the he sees that little Humvee and he's like, oh yeah, let's go. Oh crap! Where are you? Ooh, that was a pretty good shot. What was he shooting me with? Probably one of these stupid little. I don't like those. Switch that to that. Whatever gun he was hitting me with, it didn't really have much oomph. It only got me Anyway, he says before he gets sniped in the ear. Here comes a car. I have fun trying to shoot these down. Where are you? Where are you, Joyrider? Why I'm assuming he'd be on the road. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so they see it and they go, and it turns out to be a trap. So they grab, and it's like the guy in the little hazmat white suit or whatever is like toast, and they're both toast. And then there's that one guy that comes out of comes out from hiding. Yeah, buddy. I just did that to your car. Where are you? Where are you? Anywho, and comes out with a mask that was so reminiscent of. Oh, I want one of those. I'll trade you for that. Actually, I really like that gun. I don't like these little. I'm terrible with that little purple one right there. So he comes out, and he's got a mask that's so similar to like what these Marauder groups are running around with, and it's similarly dim. Like I can't remember the name of the former host. I mean, she's still built in that way, but no longer hosting, I should say. With the I can't remember what happened. It had her with that thing around her head. Anyway, that whole group, that squad, just reminded me so much of like these. I wouldn't say aimless marauders. They just seem so. Speaking of, there they are. There's some down there. The worst part about them, too, again, is it's just one in casual play like this. I'd rather fight through actual players than not only just not having to fight them myself, but like how many, I wonder, percentage-wise, are actually being eliminated in each round. I don't love that. And I don't think that helps people level up and get any better, because you're playing against. Where are you? Someone? This little grappling thingy? Oh, you know what I love doing? I'll get back to Westworld in a sec here. Is that, and then watch. If they don't notice me, someone's gonna go up to him and try to help him. And then you just like one by one can take them all out, but instead, how about there's another one. Oh, well, maybe I was wrong. I might have bit off more I could chew there. There they are. How did he see me through a tree? These guys are the worst, man. Honestly. There's only one. There's only one. Can I kill the music? Well, I've got someone's attention, which is a player. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, that was an excellent shot. Oh, I didn't realize there were only two of us left. See? Distracted by the GD Marauders. Alright, here we go. So let's jump into the cast. Yeah, so those, I think the Marauders that you saw, they were very similar too. So I laid the groundwork. There's good old IMDb's that we can just kind of go through this list here. It's a shorter list. I mean, I'm tired. I'm not gonna say hungover, but I enjoyed myself last night. Yeah, there are a few that are like had a smaller run on the show, but for the sake of time and you know, I think I kind of want to start. Was it Armistice the one that had that little like Marauder type crew at the end there? Can't remember. I mean, oh, what was that gentleman's name? The actor's name is Zahn McLarnon. I'm not going to go heavily into because it's like I don't think he was in for these purposes enough episodes to like. You know what? Maybe I think he'll be one of those that was in a handful that I'll go into just simply out of respect for the performance in that one episode where it went into his backstory. Like, if he didn't win an Emmy or something for that episode, like, holy cow, he was phenomenal in that. I was so moved and impressed, and like that was because the production value and the length of those shows. I mean, each of those episodes is like a film, so it's a shame you can't win like not that awards are necessarily. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Accolades aren't necessarily like not big into the awards ceremonies and such because a lot of them are just super not rigged, but people campaign, put money into campaigning for getting those awards and stuff. But I just think that dude needs like a crowd-funded fan giant medal of honor for that episode of Westworld. Just so much respect. That was one of those like, you've been here before. I pursued the big screen and little screen, big production like acting life in LA for a while, and again, there's just not enough work to go around for as much talent as in LA. I won't say that's the only reason why I ended up like I could never fully commit to the lifestyle, like working at night or like being a waiter and then like auditioning during the day. I lucked out for a little while and had jobs that were like yeah like we're cool if you get an audition if you can go. And although I don't think if they were frequent enough that they would have been, they were like a commercial agent for a minute. Anyways, it was that performance was one of those where it was like, oh man, I was just so inspired and like wanted to just jump right back into it. Not for recognition's sake, just because in that realm you end up with access to the best work, something, the stories and characters you could really chew on. Not saying that there aren't indie writers and producers and all that kind of stuff that make great stuff that also haven't been discovered, but that's where the majority of it is. Anyway, so let's look at this character. Let's see, would I at any point put him on the list? We can look at the when there's enough of a snapshot of a character in different phases of life or in their characters' journeys, um, even if there's a time when you're like, oh my gosh, I would totally, it's an absolute no. Um, I still will you know, look at an era of when it could be a yes. Growth period. It's funny though, like a lot of these stories that I've gone through, it's usually the journey, the character growth is it makes them more appealing to be around. You know, um, a lot of these hosts, if they start out as someone you're like, oh yeah, they seem pleasant to be around, the more woke they get, the more they realize they've been wronged. And so, rightfully so, they are upset, you know, but maybe become less appealing the more they grow, if that makes sense. But anyways, back to this dude. He, that episode, I would say, for sure. He's like, as far as being there's a lot of kindness in him. So you know that in this asinine premise that I've got here, if he, from his origin story, was in a place where we have, folks helping and bringing us food and cooking it, he'd be very grateful, and so that's a big plus. I think he'd be in the right mindset for sure, energy level wise. I think too far removed, honestly, obviously from any kind of popular culture. I think it's a more simple life, honestly, that he lives. It's like I hear him again. Flippity stuff and things. I try not to curse, which is yet another challenge. Because I'm right now running from marauders and also other players. Oh my gosh. I already have Spectrum Internet to deal with. Who's doing that? Oh, it's those morons. Should I? Why not? I guess it's all gonna fall this way anyway, so how about this? Change gears, dude. You are going to blow that engine. If I hide in a bush, the marauders won't see me and I can actually do some of this debate. What's that? This character's name. Emily was also awesome, but we have to... Anyway. Alright. I think... I don't think that he would be... I think he would be tickled by the idea of something so silly as a conversation like this, but he would be like, oh, he'd want to listen, just because he wouldn't, even if there was a pop culture for him to access at that time, I don't think that he'd be fully engaged. It's a more simple life in a good way. Maybe whatever it is that he reads, but nah, I don't think so. But I had to have a look just for a minute because I was just so blown away by and appreciative of that performance. It really made an impact on me. Moving on though, to some equally great performances, but much less appealing characters. We're looking at Lutz and Sylvester. We can do one at a time though. As soon as I know my internet's going to work. Why is every once in a while, in the last couple weeks, the ground will rumble like that and shake. It's not like that glitchy internet thing where you're running and your guy's kind of freezing, but it just shakes, and I'm wondering if it's like maybe a boat doing the little shelling kind of thing. You just can't hear it, or if it's kind of those changes that are coming with Thor and all that. Anyway, so let's look at where's he at? Oops. Let's look at Lutz first. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think both of them are going to be a no. But let's look at why. I mean, Sylvester is the obvious easy no. What do we see? I do like that we got to see a lot more of them in season 2, because at first it's like, oh, there's just these idiots that that work at the hosts and work on the hosts, and anytime you're in that kind of a bubble doing a job around just the same few people, I think anyone would end up a little bit off. Unless maybe that was the appeal of the job, which I think probably was the case for Sylvester, like 0 people skills. And so he's, the idea of that job specifically was appealing to him, because it's like removed from, did they get off the Westworld in between a lot, like when their shift was done? I think they did, right? Or was it just so far off and like wherever that island was located? I really need to have a look at the details of that show again. Anyway, Lutz, though, he's got way more of a redemptive storyline, and I think we haven't heard Marauder music in a while. I also haven't seen many players, which is kind of a bummer. So let's just look at the criteria. So would a Lutz be in the right kind of chill frame of mind the next morning, hungover brunch, so not overly energetic, not too hungover that would kind of put me in a place where I thought I'd have to take care of him? Yes, I think he's a guy that, he's going to probably be a little hungover, maybe every day, just because the nature of that work is probably he's done and it's like, yo, holy cow, I do not believe that I won that battle. Okay. Yes, please. I think I want a sniper rifle today. It's trying. It's cutting out. If it cut out, I really hope that you guys saw that amazing accidental win of that little fight there. So I think he'd be in the right state of mind. I think he's probably pretty practiced in having enough to deal with the day that he's had, but not so much that it's going to make him like incapacitated the next day and need a babysitter. I really need some health. He took a big old chunk out of me. I think there's one under the stairs or somewhere. Where are you? Alright. Would he want to engage in a conversation like this? There's not enough information on him to know. You don't see enough of him in the show. Although, if I'm assuming, I'm speculating, they probably have to have these types of conversations just to make the day go by. Like, that would be my assumption. Alright, let's get out of here and go fight some people. So yeah, and I think that... So there's two things. Would he be good to the wait staff? I see a you. Okay, both of you. Ooh. Ooh, look at that, I got more stuff. Gimme, and I'll take that for a sec. Please no one shoot me while I do this. So yeah, I think he'd be... Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Ah! Where are you? You're sneaky. Oh, there you are. Ah! Oh well. Oh, Aaliyah. A little like non-smiley, non-emotional face with two eyeballs. That was a good shot. You were very sneaky. I don't know if people skills are going to be sharp enough after being in that environment for so long. And I'm going to be looking at like, the later on version of him too, because in this scenario, because I think there's a redemptive factor, and once he sees kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, is like, oh dang, like you kind of see who someone is in those circumstances. I think his actions in those circumstances were less survivalistic than his homie Sylvester. But yeah, I don't think that the people skills are going to be sharp enough to know and like be comfortable in that kind of setting. So I already know that there are going to be other people that are going to make it on the list at this point. Like if I had thrown him in later, maybe, or if it was, yeah, no, I don't think so. Sylvester, it's a no, but I'm going to show my work. I think top of the list, obviously, is going to be the people skills. He's a turd. It's not great. He's... Yeah. I mean, that's a big no already. He begrudgingly, obviously, they both were threatened, obviously, and that's why they had to go along with following Miss Newton's character. But there's no redemptive arc for him, really. He's just kind of like... It's funny too, because he's put out. That's his tone. That's the note you get from him in all of these like extreme circumstances. He's put out. He's like, man, I get back to my... he wants to go back and play. He wouldn't play Fortnite. He wants to go back and play like Wolfenstein. Maybe. Something a little bit old school, still a shooter, but violent, not just destructive like Fortnite. So he's just like, ugh, come on, man. I'm trying to do a thing. And where are we going to go? Island. What did they call this island in that little Thor comic? Vibrant? Is it, though? Not so much. I weirdly, every once in a while, have a daydream about the old island. Like, where I'd land, and it just happened. Like, man, I really was very fond of how they did storytelling in the first chapter. Super abstract. Loved it. Just slapping different things at the island, and it's just so. It's like a bunch of different genres piled into one, which I liked. Sorry, Sylvester, but no. We already know. Moving on. Young William. It's funny because you look at like the amount of episodes that Jimmy Simpson was in. It was 13 out of 28 so far. But obviously the presence of his overall character. But we're gonna look at him and Ed Harris is like Ed Harris. We know he's gonna be a no, but out of respect for his performance, we'll look at them separately. Going into that show, the only thing I'd seen Jimmy Simpson on was Sunny in Philly. So I was like, what is one of the Milk Brothers doing here? I'm sure he probably tires of hearing that. But, there's nothing wrong with being recognized for a show that's so as good as that show and has been on for, 15 seasons now? Yeah. Anyways. Maybe it's too silly. Was there a point? And again, it's just like, as these characters progress, a lot of them, they go in a direction that makes them less appealing, which is different from the arcs in most other shows that I've talked about here. Hold on to that. Young William, like when he first got there, maybe. Because man, boy, did he change. So really, the only one to look at, because most of the time, like from like after that, as he progressed and got older, would be a no, just because he became more and more. Oh, what is the word? Hold on, I think the coffee could probably give me the word. I'm troubled, but where's the thesaurus when you need one? Because it's not right here right now. Definitely became a less appealing hungover brunch, I guess, the older he got, the further his character progressed. But if you look at pre-island version of him, or when he first got there, it was like chilling with unwoke Dolores. Let's have a look. Would he be in the right state of mind? Yeah, probably. He's not a kid. Where are you? Where are you? Ah! Oh, look at that jump scare. Where are you? Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yeah. Being want that. Being a little sleep deprived. And then playing this and having someone come out of nowhere. Holy cow. That was fun. Oh wait, I don't want the gas can. Give me my gun back. I did notice someone, it's kind of a cool move. I was hiding behind a pillar and they threw, what do I want? Yes. They threw a gas can at me, or at the pillar, and then shot the gas can. Thankfully, I bounced away and outflanked him and took him out, but I thought that was a really cool move. But I don't have the coordination to like pull something like that off when I'm both playing and going through something like Brunch Madness, Westworld style. So young William, what do we see with him and his vibe when he's chilling with Dolores, unwoke Dolores early on? He'd have the right energy level, that's for sure. He's I think he'd be on a basic level good to waitstaff, sure. I don't think there's going to be anything special about it. I don't know that he'd take the wheel, in those interactions, which is something that I need. Do I want a sniper? Nah. Let's do a flare. I'll regret that later, I'm sure. Anywho, would he engage? Because in this kind of conversation, I don't think so. He was always troubled, at least from what we saw. He was already, like, he was looking for a distraction, though. I mean, he did go there. So he's going to a Wild West theme park, to find a distraction from his troubles. Or, well, he was kind of forced there by his buddy. So I think it would probably end up being something like that, where you're like, oh, no, trust me. Like, I'd have to talk him into having this, not debate, but, back and forth. So I think for that reason, we're going to go ahead and say no to young William. Elsie. Good old Elsie. Elsie's like the Matt Donovan of Westworld. If you know Vampire Diaries, you know what I'm talking about. Matt was like that poor guy. He was just the good dude. He wasn't a vampire. He wasn't a werewolf. He wasn't a hybrid. Like that. Did you guys see that? What is that? I don't understand. Why is ground shaking? Matt. So we'll get back to Elsie. Trust me. There's just such a similarity. Like when I think about her, because he's there and all of his friends are vampires or turned into vampires or getting mixed up with the vampires and werewolves and all this stuff, and he's just the guy that he kept showing up, obviously, for his friends, and at a certain point he just was over it. But he was just the regular guy that endured all of the weird ass stuff around him, for that entirety of that series. There was that little bit where he was like possessed by a traveler or something weird, but but like Elsie strikes me as that she's a much more capable person, way more assertive than Matt was. And there we go. Sometimes if you do a little stutter between the shots and those with this gun, it like narrows the aim a little bit. Someone's coming They were better at jumping around and shoot. This is something that happened to me like a month ago, where okay, good job with your dancing. Where suddenly I was getting a bunch of wins, and I'm like, is this kind of too easy? I guess. Um, yeah, I was getting lots of solo wins, and then out of nowhere, everybody that I was playing against was just so much better than me. And I think it's like the algorithm picks up if you're upskilling. Maybe it'll pick up that I'm downskilling because I'm trying to, you know, do this brunch madness. Like, where's the brunch madness setting so that I can, like, maybe win while I'm rambling on. But yeah, Elsie was, I mean, I'm sure there were a lot more like her, but that she was the character that we were, shown, who was like, the internet's weird again. So let's hold off. There we go. It's trying. You're making an effort, Spectrum. Not enough of one, but yeah, next place I live definitely be somewhere there is good competition for internet providers, because then maybe they'll try. Not so much with the Spectrum. I don't know why OBS is still giving me that red. Catch up. These things look like they're somewhat okie dokie on my end. And once they clear up, talk about LC again. Yeah, I made some changes to my setup. Most things that I'm using are, let's go to Lighthouse and chill. Are wired, so I'm Ethernetting most things except for the webcam here, which is actually my phone. So everything else that accesses Wi-Fi is unplugged. So I'm not looking at channel interference, from neighbors or anything. Anyways, it looks like it's going. So Elsie. Elsie was like, she got the spotlight of being the character in that world that was just a good person, very capable person, really smart, trying to do like the human, not a host, trying to do the right thing, and kick ass at her job. She was, all of that technology and everything was also obviously very appealing to her. And didn't have, in a great way, the moral flexibility that most of the other characters, if not all of them, on that we were, given a view into on that show had. She was. Everybody's got flaws, etc., etc. But yeah, she was the. This is not a slight on the character at all. She was like the Normo, like Matt Donovan was. You had all these hosts that were, getting woke, and you had the Bernards and the the people from like Delos who had all these agendas and all this. It's like her agenda was just being a good person and trying to be awesome at her job, and then in the end trying to survive, which makes absolute sense. So I don't know if like there was a trophy for characters like that in these shows, if it should be the Elsie or the Matt Donovan. Maybe it could be a combination. We could go through all of the shows that are similar and have characters like that and kind of like make a mashup award for, or maybe it's the Normo award. Anyways, maybe that'll be another project that I work on here. Good job, Normo. You deserved a better Normo award. She did very much deserve better than the fate that she got from Miss Thompson's character. But then, karma, you know, she got hers after that. But yeah, I mean, she was the Matt of that show. But I won't compare the two like too much because she's obviously on another level intellectually than Donovan. You don't really see her. Well, I mean, because he was the guy that always showed up for his friends, and she had a fondness for Bernard when she thought he was a human. And even though he tried to kill her, chained her up, and all that stuff, keep her from spilling beans or whatever, she still kind of went along with him. Where is that? Partly out of, I think a desire to survive, but I think kindness of her heart. So, very cool character, and great performance, I would say. I liked her on Raising Hope. I'm remembering that right? Yeah. Underrated show. I don't know what streaming platform it's on, but if it's out there, please watch it. Yeah, he meets her at the grocery store she works at. Anyways, so Elsie. Yeah, I think Elsie would be down. She'd be in the right mindset. Maybe, I don't know, because she's ambitious and she wants to do her job well. It's important to her to do her job well. So we'll assume it's a weekend. Yeah, we'll assume it's a weekend. Not like the other dude that was like probably drinking every night. I don't think she would have, enough so that it would affect her in any way the next day. Just because it's, yeah, the job is definitely. Should I hold on to that? Nah, I'll regret it, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll just assume like legitimately like Sunday brunch kind of thing. She'll strikes me as someone, Elsie, as someone who would like cut loose or just unwind. I think she's an unwinder. I think. And yeah. Oh, and by the way, the actress Shannon Woodward is here on Twitch. Shannon is live, I think. I can look at my thing and see. But I'm sure if you search Shannon Woodward, it'll come up. It's a nice, like, chill stream to watch. She played, does a crossword every once in a while. Which is, it was nice. Like, they kept recommending all of these, like, big-time Twitch streamers, and it was like Nick Merckx, and I'm like, no, I don't need that, bro, jock toxic energy of like whatever it is that they're bringing. There's no entertainment value there for me, you know. And also this Shroud person was just like, yes, this person is good at a game. Not really. It's not. I'm not looking for a tutorial. But hers is a cool one to watch. I watched Felicia Day a stream on last night with her brother. I think the sibling rivalry, that was kind of funny. But anyways, back to Elsie. So she'd be in, I think, the right state of mind. Like, and I think she's very educated and all that. But I also think by the nature of the work that she's doing, there is a creative element to it. And I don't think that's something you can fake. I think someone with the kind of analytical mind that she had, but also creative, I think, would see the merits in it. Put the mind to something like this to kind of jumpstart the brain for some weekend times so that the days don't go to waste totally. So yeah, I think she'd be down for it. As far as being good to the wait staff, she's a little intense, but I don't think it would be rude. She's a little assertive, and which could be good because I think that the hungover state would take the edge off of, you know, the intensity. And being as assertive as she is, I think probably would be someone would take the wheel. Who's shooting at me? Hey! Oh my goodness. I'm hiding because they were a very good shot. I really wish I had a flare gun right now. Did I get him at all? Barely. Yeah, everybody's better than me that I'm playing right now. This is crazy. I have one solo win goal to reach my... Because I have a lifetime solo win goal that I want to reach by the end of this season. And that's 200. And I want to be, by the end of the year, at 10% of the matches that I have played in this game have won. So I'm getting close to that. So I thought that I'd be able to stumble into that win. Apparently not. And I'm committed to doing it only when I'm streaming. Because right now I only play this when I'm streaming. So, yeah. Elsie. So I think she would be... I think she's going to go on the list. And then we can kind of examine... like... bonus qualities that would make someone... I don't know. Come on now. Do what I say. And, let's see. First on the list. Alright. Working our way through. Got a lot to go. Hector. Do we ever see Hector in a state where you'd think, yeah? Because if I'm looking at early on guy, I mean, he's programmed to be a baddie. So no, I mean, just I couldn't even see him doing, just mellowing out on a whatever. I think he'd be out marauding, doing his thing. So no, later on, when he and Maeve connect. Still the intensity factor would be, hella broody, and there'd still be that kind of element of danger that I'd be kind of a little too uneasy. I'm gonna cheat because he deserves it. Because I was very dismissive of his character and I'm Lost, Paolo, and I think he deserves just an a little extra season 3 look. So he's programmed to be, and I won't do that with anyone else, but because I, was very dismissive and talked smack about Paolo, and was like, get out of here, without even a look. Season 3, he was this cool, would you call it a spy? Kinda. He was a good guy, right? They were fighting the Nazis, if I'm remembering. He was super slick. Do we see enough of him? Let's see if we can run through the criteria, if there is even enough evidence of any of it. So, nope. I'll move right on over here for a minute. Alright. Every time I'm in this spot, I always wish that I was Tahoe. From Northern California. I live in St. Louis now, but I'll take that. Let's go ahead and go out in here and use it. If someone left that behind, it means they're already fully healthed up, which is scary. So I already don't think that he would be into the conversation, the premise itself, because he was so wired in the little storyline they had. Diverging from that, never ever. So I said I would take a look again at you, Mr. Santoro, after bagging on Paolo. I gave you an extra little special look. Spectrum. I tell ya. Is it trying? It might be. Getting a lot of practice censoring myself. Maybe if I close some things, it might help. Let's look. I'm going to close you. I'm going to close you. Now the only thing open, I've got OBS, my little webcam thingy. Let's see if that helps. We can move on from Paolo. Good thing I'm in a good hiding spot here. Wow, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a good spectrum here. Looks like it's not freezing, so maybe it's trying a little bit. Usually if it's totally broke, I wouldn't be able to move around. Oh, there it is. Wish I had little hold music, that little like frozen screen for when the stream cuts out. Unreal. Are you trying? Are you trying, internet? Come on, man. Anyway, we'll get to it. I think I'm gonna have to start editing these videos once I post them to YouTube, just to cut out all of this filler. There we go. It looks like it's trying. That's good. I want to see green on that though. Alright. Might be. Come on. Give me the green so I know. Let's do a zipline in the meantime. Yeah, alright, let's assume. So, we're moving on. So we're gonna get through. I'm gonna eliminate some a little bit more quickly. Either eliminate or add them more quickly, just so that we can make sure to cut all of this a little bit short. Thanks to terrible internet times. Yeah, I'm gonna edit these videos so that way, like on YouTube, it'll jump, little jumps. Okay. So let's head back to IMDb. Who do we have next? Lee Sizemore. Oh boy. Thing with that dude. He's a creative. The writer, the guy who's coming up with all these storylines. And I think that, like, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit, just so that we can talk about him for a minute. He was a writer, and I'm sure before pre-Westworld and all that was like the storylines and things and characters that he created, all of the stuff was inconsequential. Like, in that they're fictional, either portrayed by actors or just written on the page and that kind of thing. He wasn't. So I'm sure he never had to consider consequences. Like, I think he allowed himself to be blind to the fact, and maybe trusted that the technology that they were using, that kind of thing, wasn't going to end up turning, and never looked at. He never really looked at, like, the sentient aspect of the AI and that kind of thing. But I think whatever playground he was in, whatever sandbox he was in before doing all the stuff, it didn't matter. Like, his personality and his Like none of who he was and how he behaved and how he treated people or the characters or all of that stuff. Like he could be that way in that sandbox, before he took that job. So he kind of, it seems like he carried that same mindset into this job. Is that, do I care about the key card? I don't think I do, but I'll take it. Alright. Something's been here, but they left the loot. Anyways, so, he could do his thing and be who he was, and the jackass, for a lack of a better term, that he was, in without consequence. And so he kind of brought that same, because I think in that creative world he must have been in before. It was just part for the course, there was more of him around him than there were analytic people like LC and Bernard and that kind of thing. So he never really changed to fit the environment he was in. And then obviously that karma. So when splashing around like he did, being his larger than life jackass of a self in that sandbox, it came back and bit him big time, because it's like he's not where he was. And when things started changing, the consequences of what he had done, we're coming back to haunt him. All right, where are we going? I want to try to see where that loot box is. It's probably in some. Oh, that's not a bad spot. All right, where is this going to slide to? Let's see if I can figure this out. Oh wait, I want that, and then I want. See, look at me building. Is everyone super proud of me? I don't really know what I'm doing, honestly. Obvious. I just didn't want things falling. I did good job. Good job, me. I'll take you. I don't need the key card. I'll take you. And for a second, I'll take you. Alright. Give me that back. Hey. You like this guy? I gotta go. Yeah. Yeah, that dude. He really had it. He had it coming. Now, let's look at him as far as this whole criteria is concerned. Would he be in the right state the next day? Yeah. Like, I think he's a practiced casual drinker. Wouldn't be too busted. Where are you? Where are you? You're a good shot. I can already see that. Look at that guy. Dude. Yeah, they've put me into some realm of, like, better players, so this is going to be tough. That's okay. That's the goal for this week. One solo win to make my goal for where I wanted to be at the end of the season. I like his Joyride music. Anyway, again, look at the title of this stream, Mediocre, in case you were forgetting. So yeah, he'd be in the right state of mind for sure. Energy level wise, would he be good to the staff? Absolutely not. Nope. No, he would not be. He'd be the guy that take the wheel, but he's just pre-Westworld, I think, already know, and I don't think he let that world change him in that way. So no, we're gonna roll. Now, if I'm going in order of who's listed here, I think they're just doing it as how many episodes. So Anthony Hopkins, it's Dr. Ford. It's a no, but I'm going to show my work. I mean, he's obviously an enigma. What was his... Do we ever really get a grasp on what his agenda was being involved in that world? I'm sure there's a lot, and I just forget. But Westworld's one of those shows you can't, like, have on in the background or even engage in anything else. You know, you can't, like, be cruising Twitter and then kind of keep, glance up every once in a while. Because you're gonna miss stuff. I learned that pretty quickly. So, I have to, like, circle back a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna give it another go since I'm still not out in the world as much as normal. But there's a lot of versions of him. Like, they showed a little young version of him, I think was a host. Would he even for a second engage in this kind of conversation? No, he would not. He's a philosopher. He and, like, Chidi from The Good Place would hang, I think. It's like, I know where I'm going. I don't know why I feel the need to plant markers. But when I'm doing other things, it's good for me to let go of that ray of light. That's where I'm going. He would just see it as silly, or he would see what I was trying to do and he would ask more questions, I think, than he would offer any input. And that would be annoying. Yeah, I think he would take the wheel, and it's charming, good to the wait staff and all, but there's way too much percolating in that brain for him to engage in something like this. Another one of those very inspirational performances as far as a viewer and, an artist, just like stokes the fire of, like, oh man, I gotta create when you watch that performance. But this isn't an enterprise into seeing if I want to hang out with Anthony Hopkins or a hungover brunch, but Ford. And it's a no. Too heavy. Everything too heavy, as Marty McFly would say. Moving on. Stubbs. Yeah. I love that dude. He seems like... I wouldn't say he's another Donovan or Elsie, but, like, he's the guy that would show up for his friends. And that's the case before and after. Oops, I don't want that yet. Man, I am off today. Anyways, before and after, he knows he's a host. Did he know before? I can't remember. That's a season 3 thing, but I really do need some stuff here to fight. Yeah, I mean, he's that guy that shows up for his friends, which I dig. And is looking out. He's got a great heart. think is another one of those. Am I going to put him in the normal category, even though he turns out to be? I think by nature, though, he kind of is. It's programmed to be, so it's not necessarily by his own nature, but that's a whole different quest, so we'll table that conversation. Would he be in the right state of mind? I mean, they're programmed, so I think it's like you would need to see if they were programmed to partake, because can they get drunk? I don't remember, because I know that they're very organic the further along that technology became. Okay, what's down there? Huh. That's funny. Oh, I want to jump in there. Let's jump into the flusher. So I think definitely right state of mind. I do think that he would engage in this type of conversation. See the value in it. Hey, look at me. Oh, that's good to know. I've never taken that trip. Cool. I could do without that. How about, just in case I feel ambitious and actually want to super duper try to win around, I'll hold on to some health stuff. I think he is a take charge guy. You know, I mean, he's in charge of security, right? So yeah, I think he'd take the wheel and be kind. Yeah, let's keep moving. I'm gonna put him Stubbs on the list. Okay, it's a good group so far. Elsie and Stubbs. Teddy. Oh my gosh. Am I hearing Marauders? Mr. Marston. I dig that dude. Like, he brings such a genuine something, whatever that may be, to all of his roles, you know? And, you know, Teddy has a journey, that's for sure. Which Teddy would be the one that we should look at? And I think all of them, honestly. Like, he's programmed, yes, but he's just such a good dude. So loyal. Definitely would be in the right mindset. You know, like he'd be chill, but not too much so. I'd have to be like worried about his health, and he wouldn't be overly energetic, Peter Parker style. So that's good. It's charming. You know, I think that would be good for. Oh, let's go get that. White staff style. Would he engage in something like this, though? Like this kind of. Would it be beyond him? Do I want? Yeah, why not? I'll make myself a target. I don't know that he ever had whatever version of. Yeah, let's take that and not worried about that. Okay. I think he would be like the character I talked about early on, like tickled by the premise. I think he'd be like, oh, but he would want to know more, because there was a genuine, like slightly woke Teddy had a genuine curiosity, I think, and would want that, like, he'd want to have the conversation, but I think he'd ask more questions than he would be able to contribute. And because of that, yeah, I don't know. Like, definitely a net positive as far as in a hang, but for the criteria that I have set for this enterprise, I think I'm going to have to keep Teddy off the list. R.I.P. R.I.P. Good old Teddy. What an arc and for that character and performance, like, just so tangible, I think is the word I'm looking for. This whole thing is honestly, I've said it before, just an excuse. One of the reasons why I do it is an excuse to talk about these shows and performances and stories that I love. Stories are very important. Some more so than others, They all serve a purpose. Most of them, I should say. I'm going to keep this. Oh, we're going to finish out this battle here, aren't we? Very cool. Sorry, Teddy. Moving on. Charlotte Hale. No. And that immediate no is a credit to Miss Thompson's performance, the writing of that character, and the story. Goodness. Let's get smaller in here, so I think. Let's go uploads. Let's go uploads. Hey, look at you. You just needed a little song, right? Alright. You're trying. Alright, things are smoothing out here. So we were talking about Tessa Thompson as IMDb, don't be a punk right now. Charlotte Hale. Big ol' no. But we gotta show the work, right? A lady with an agenda, very flexible morality. It's not something I would be interested in being around. I don't even know if we need to really look at the foundational aspects of, like, what would qualify someone to be a candidate for this brunch madness premise, but like, oh, she's bad. I mean, I don't know if that's enough. So let's take a look. It should be fair because she did an amazing job with that performance, and then again in season 3 with being someone else in that body, and that was amazing. Anyways, there's 3 of us left. Interesting. Someone's got these. I'm gonna be toast. If today's opponents have been any indication to this point, I am kind of doomed. But let's make an effort, right? Where are they? Where are you? You're one of these. Ooh, I came out of that one. Am I dead? Am I dead? Am I dead? Oh my gosh. Not good with this gun. I'm glad I hadn't held on to health. Oh my gosh. I need some health times. Please don't come in here. 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 Charlotte Hale. That's what we're talking about. Charlotte Hale. Look at all that ammo I got now. That's awesome. Alright. I'm much better with this gun than I am. Ooh, give me that. There's 2 of us left. I need this. Please don't come in here. Please don't come in here. Please don't come in here. Anyways, Charlotte, would she be in the right state of mind the next day? Yeah, I think she was off island enough to be, you know, I know what word I'm looking for. I want to find out where this person is real quick. There they are. On the other side of Waterfall. I could be hosed if it ends up being... I need to find a way out of here. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's meet them in there. Kind of. There they are. They're going to be a good shot. Are they going to be a good shot? There you are. I see you, buddy. I think I don't. Ah, internet, come on. Not right now. Son of a... I did it. I got my 200. Oh, that's a big relief. 200 lifetime solo win before the end of this season. So now I can relax and lose as much as I don't even care for the next season. So I'm going into vacation week relaxed. How close was I to dying? I didn't pay attention. Let's take a little picture. A little Batman selfie. Here we go. Woo! Good job. That internet started cutting out there for a minute. It had me worried. I thought maybe Charlotte Hale was sabotaging me for talking smack. So, yeah, I think that she would be in the right state of mind, but she's got so much going on agenda-wise. I don't think that ever switches off in whatever, form you find her in, And I don't think that would ever switch off, and I do not think she would engage in a conversation like this. No merit to it. I don't think she's not a creative in any sense of the term. So, nah, Charlotte, you're out. I mean, obviously, terrible, terrible human, but... And now we're down to 4. So far, we've got Elsie and Stubbs on the list. Maeve. Man, this is gonna be tough. These last 4 are so heavy that, like, I'm going to make sure one of them gets on the list so that Elsie and Stubbs have, like, a third, at least, to go against. I was thinking about doing William's daughter for this, but she does seem like super cool and all, but it's just not enough of a snapshot of her to kind of put the criteria against. I like the chemistry between her and Ed Harris in those scenes, but Maeve's wokeness, like when she starts, it's good, just 0 to 100, just so fast, you know. So there's no, like, because when she's a host, she seems, there's a nurturing aspect to her, which is great. And that, I think, would lend itself greatly to the hungover brunch times, because she would kind of take the wheel and, you know, by her nature, programmed, but still. Because I did look at Back to the Future characters in different states, like in the first movie, at the end of the movie, the more internets. No, wait. Yeah, Spectrum, you're going to be hearing from me, man. Like, we need to get someone over here to fix this. Be interested to see if, like, it improves when I'm not playing upload speeds, or if it's like, for some reason, this is just too taxing on the internet that I have, which would be incredibly sad. It hasn't been this bad. There was a couple months of where it was, like, actually pretty good. Wait till I see a green on OBS before I hop back in the conversation. It seems to catch up a little bit later than. The delay between. Alright, it's getting better. There we are, we're back in the green. Let's talk about Maeve. So, she had that, you know, nurturing aspect, which would be cool. That's definitely checkbox number one. I think in the environment that she was programmed to be in that role she was playing. She had the one before that with her daughter and all. I think. Shark. Get. I got no beef with you, Shark. You leave me alone. Oops. So yeah, I think she'd be in a good state of mind the next day. I think that would be part of her programming. I'm gonna have to say later on, if I do compare, you know, anyone who is non-human to human, that it being a programmed aspect of their personality may come into play, but we'll see. So yeah, I think she'd be down. Would she engage in a conversation like this? That's tough. She is, I mean, I was going to say she's artistic enough to draw, you know, as you see, you know, when she's got these flashes of when the Westworld, like, employees come in and she's remembering that, those flashes. Um, there's a creative aspect to that. Would that version of her... Yeah, the more stuff you get, the more appealing you are to these just crazy sharks. So I'm gonna get out of here. I don't really want to deal. Go ahead and go in dolphin jumping mode here. I see someone. I see someone. I do like it when people get fixated on fighting these sharks. Because then you can just be like... Where are you? Ah! Shark, you're gonna finish him off? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah. See, I did that little, like, stutter, which kind of narrows the aim again. I got no beef with you, shark. I got no beef with you, shark. I got no beef with you, shark. Leave me alone. I'm gonna try to remember to do that more often. Anyways, so would Maeve in that state? Because I think we know later on as she quickly becomes woke, and from her host state, that it's going to be a big no. That's the intensity level is like, nah. But that version of her, would she? I think she's in that role she's in. Host, who is a host, she's probably well practiced in, or programmed to appear as being so. Showing interest, like connecting with like what the client is interested in. So I think she would engage, but would she have much to contribute? Probably. I would imagine she's like, they know that she's gonna have to at least seem sincere. So, yeah, we'll say that it's going to seem genuine. So she checks all those boxes. Let's put her on the list. Pre-awakening. Hey. Oh, we got 3 on the list. Ed Harris. Man in Black. I mean, it's a no, clearly, but let's show the work. Let's get out of here too, because I don't like chilling out in future storm circle zones. Man, getting that win was such a relief. So now I've got a whole week. Met my goal. Now I can just chill. I always say that, and I'm like, I'll even jump into some rounds and be like, I just want to try to go fishing. And I'll just land in some random fishing spot, and then I always find myself falling into trying mode. Yeah. Anywho. Ed Harris, Man in Black. It's a no, but why? That is a dark, bleak, nasty, broken soul. And how would that eliminate him? Who wants to be around it? I mean, I think he'd be the guy the next day that I'd be worried. You know, who's doing that? Who's shooting? You gonna fight? You wanna fight? You wanna fight? You wanna fight? Where you at? Where are you? No? Okay. Trying to talk about friggin' Ed Harris over here, and these guys are like shooting at me. How rude. Um, I think he would be. I mean, there was a time when he had his he was in control to a point, because we meet him in, was it season 3, when he's just wrecked. But there are other times when he is the older version of him, when he's not so, when he's sober and stuff, I guess. But so I think that there is a possibility, yes, that in one of those versions of him that he could be in the right state of mind and not overly wrecked the next day. And oh, there's Marauders. We're out of here. Oh my gosh. 16 people left, and there are Marauders running around. Maybe that'll be my goal for this week, is just to plow through as many. I hope that this Galactus person, or I'm not fully following the storyline from that little comic thing that's supposed to be telling what's happening in the next season. Like, Galactus is this guy, and then Thor is a young king of Asgard, and Galactus shows up and he's like, bro. And then Thor's like, yeah, man, well, I'll help you out. Let's go do the thing. And then he sees this Galactus being a little too power hungry, and then his gaze turns on this island, and then Thor shows up. Okay, maybe I do get it. Thor shows up wanting to help, and then these sweaty kids shoot him. And then Thor's like, all right, well, I tried to. Can't say I didn't offer help. That's the vibe. That's the overall gist that I'm getting from that. But I hope whatever happens wipes out all of the Marauders. We were talking about the Man in Black, right? Oh, he's gone. Got a little Spider-Man going on over here. I hate these things, man. Let's find this guy. Where you at? Yep. Where'd you go, buddy? One thing I'd have had to get better at. There's someone else shooting at me, isn't there? Ah! There's like 3 people. Oh! Oh, that was a Marauder. See that guy's mask. Not that guy, but that Marauder's mask looked like that one that showed up in Westworld Season 2 with like a horde of, I'm going to call them Marauders. They said sprung the trap on those people that were still on the island. Back to Man in Black. So, yeah, I mean, he's, no matter what, you're going to, of the snapshots we get of him as older. Older William. It's just this. He's just got such a dark soul, and I think he's going to be dismissive of help, of wait staff, I should say, service folks, and that's not cool. And he would never engage in this conversation. You're out, buddy. But Ed Harris, you're amazing. And then there were 2. And then we will go on and look at the finals. I had a chance to, I won a thing at work, and as we all work from home, and I don't work right here like most would use their like office desk type thing to do this. type of streaming from, but that's where I work, 40 hours a week. So I'm like, I disconnect and I immediately just all the way to the other end of, Mikasa and plop down here where I would normally be playing anyways and just kind of set everything up here. Thank you, Internet, for being terrible. Sorry for singing. It's Spectrum's fault. Blame them. You can hit them up on Twitter at Ask Spectrum Help or something and be like, dude, it's because your internet sucks. This fool talking about Westworld, Brunch, and Fortnite singing to me terribly. I think that would be a good idea. Maybe then they'll fix my internet. It's sick everyone else on them who doesn't want to hear my singing. So there were two. Now let's look at Bernard. You get a lot of versions, or you see a lot of Bernard lifespan. So Bernard always, no matter what part of Jeffrey Wright's amazing. I can't wait to see him in the Batman. By the way, did you see the trailer? Because I grew up, Nirvana was the first wake up call I had to music when I was growing up. Because the 80s, it was like Motley Crue and silly, whatever. There was great stuff. I mean, I also listened to James Brown and things like that were of great quality, but in the genre of things that would end up being my bread and butter, they really woke me up to how much something creative could really ignite a fire in you. So hearing Something in the Way in that trailer, Batman trailer, as soon as I heard the first few notes, it was like, honestly, I was like, I don't really need another iteration of Batman. Why do we keep going back to this and retelling this? And it's not like with Spider-Man where it could be argued that no one ever really fully got it right, but could it be? I mean, it's taste is so subjective, Do I want to flotilla it? No, I don't think I do. Let's chill out back here. Yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to check out this trailer because I like Matt Reeves, and so we'll see what's going on. As soon as I heard those notes, I was like, yep, I'm in. Let's do it. Yes, please. Yes, please. Very much. Thank you. Anyway, Jeffrey Wright being in it. Big time bonus. And Paul Dano. Yeah. And the My Chemical Romance version of Pattinson. Is that his name? Got a very My Chemical Romance vibe from that last shot of him. I don't hate it. It's cool. I do look forward. That's why I love James Gunn, because he understands. People keep returning to the same wells, and I'm not saying that these treatments aren't something that are a waste or anything, but he's like Guardians. Right now, you think of Guardians, you're like, oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy and Groot and all the things. You didn't hear him. No, neither did I. Before those movies came out, and he saw the opportunity and the value in those stories and knew there was something there, and I want more of that. And I'm glad he's doing the Suicide Squad, and that hopefully will be as good as the first one was fine. Entertaining, sure. Yeah, but I'm hearing that the guy that pulled these superheroes from obscurity. I mean, honestly, though, Jon Favreau did it. Iron Man. Because, I mean, yes, more people had heard of Iron Man, but let's try it a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. So just smashing the button down, it definitely... Whoa. Where are you? Just doing the shoot. You get... It ends up being just kind of a little bit more erratic and less... So if you mash it down, aim is a little off. Or the impact is a little bit. So if you just do tap, tap, tap. Yeah, see, look at me, I'm learning. Learning and growing at a video game. I think internet's starting to behave again, so let's talk about Bernard. He's just so, I think in every state that you see him in, it's always with the furrowed brow. It's always with contemplative everything. And I don't know that he ever is programmed to lighten the heck up. That would have been a cool upgrade. I mean, just not necessarily like yeah, see him with a little party like this, or maybe like, yeah, you know, oh, internet, come on, I just told you to dance. Going to break something. Spectrum, you are letting me down. Unreal. There we go. A little dance break until the internet's gonna work. I don't know how, because you just see everybody with so many problems internet-wise, and the fact that they have to build in these features of like stream breaking kind of into Twitch. Like, I know it's, I guess, to be expected and all, but I don't know how some of these folks with streams that go for 5, 6, whatever hours and they never break, like, is that more common than having issues? Or am I just super duper super lucky to have crappy ass Spectrum as my internet provider? Again, I have done everything that you can to help environmentally as far as in my own space, but it looks like it's back on. Oh. Okay. Bernard. He's always furrowed brow. He's always a bummer. It would have been cool to see him have some sort of, lighten up. Even though when season 3, you see him like on the run kind of thing. He's still with the contemplative brow. I don't think he might possibly maybe be into the conversation itself. So, he's an intellectual. He's a creative. Where are they? Who's fighting? Where are you guys? Want to fight? Come on. I want to play. Come fight me. Where are you? I heard someone. I want to fight with you. Oh. That was a close one. Little did I know I was going to be spending the rest of my Sunday with Spectrum internet support. Once we finish here. Bernard, too heavy, dude. Like, overall, just too heavy. I think he'd be nice to the waitstaff, but I think he'd be off-putting. Because they'd be like, why? Lighten up? Why? Please lighten up a little. Because even in my hungover state, I'd be, should I say charming? No, but not, it just wouldn't be morose, which he's always got that, no matter what. So no Bernard. And it leaves Dolores. Evan Rachel Wood. Just good. I mean, yeah, amazing. I don't have to tell you that if you've seen the show. Now, Dolores has a lot of seasons, but I'm going to break it into 3. I've got pre-woke Dolores, where she's, rancher's daughter, kind of. What do they call her? The welcoming wagon? I think that's what they said. There's kind of is there a medium? Is there a medium woke? Maybe there's 4. Because season 4, there's or season 3, there's the 4th version where it's just, what is she? What are they? Because there's more of her. Spoilers. Because then, you see that image at the end of season 2 with Charlotte, with the things in her bag. That was her, right? Yeah. And then realizing that it's not. Do we know at the end of season 2 that it's... No, we don't. Dolores in there. I don't think. Anyway. So there's 4. So there's pre-woke. There's a medium, a little bit, I think, in season 1. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's just going to be in season 1 where she starts to kind of what's going on? Because by the end of season 1, she's, massacring a whole bunch of... I like the rig. Let's go chill out here. Talk about Dolores. And, of course, Marauders. I look forward to your demise. So season 1, let's just look at... I'm going to eliminate season 2. She's on a warpath, and for so many reasons, she's... So we can look at the criteria, just to be fair. Season 2 version on the warpath. She's, I think that's going to be similar to, so end of season 1 into season 2. I don't think she's got time for a brunch, that's for sure. She would not engage in this kind of trivial conversation. Her curiosity, I don't think, is more into, she's basically just hellbent on figuring out how to get vengeance, how to win, how to, get hers, and not hers, but it's also, I think, genuinely for all of her fellow hosts and those that are, I know what I'm thinking. Can't say it with the mouth places. So, obviously not. She's not going to engage in the conversation. She's also, I think she would be, even after, even hellbent, um, ouch, uh, Dolores would be good to staff because she's. Yeah, this can't be any kind of channel interference, I'm telling you. I kind of want to test it on the laptop that I've got wired in. Let's see if it's still. Because the switch is wired, the laptop is wired, everything's wired, except for one thing in this setup. Let's get out. Since I have a week off, I think I'll actually do a little editing of some of these videos that end up kind of wonky like this. Might be trying. I'm kind of amazed that somehow, even though, like, yeah, I'm definitely going to send some screenshots of this. Let's make it an effort. So let's talk about Dolores. So, I think she'd be good with white staff, that's for sure. No matter what, even if they're human, I think she's just hell-bent really mostly on those who were trying to keep her kind down. Well, let's not get into season 3. Wow. Yeah, so she's... Okay, there's a guy. Let's get closer because I want to use this guy. I don't want you to see me sneaking up on you. Alright, I see you, buddy. You're going after that slurp drug. Where'd you go? Where's that? Where's that? Ah, there you are. Wow, someone's bold. Shoot at me again. Where are you? There they are, having a little battle. Let's join, shall we? All right, Dolores. So we can eliminate the later, woke Dolores, obviously. Now the welcome wagon version, early on in the series, very good. She's obviously going to be great. The wait staff, obviously. Um, she's going to be very appreciative and grateful, and you know, that's just kind of who she was, at least programmed to be. Um, I think she would be another one of those tell me more about it kind of people when it comes to a conversation like this. Would be genuinely intrigued, um, curious, and everything, but not have a lot to. There's just before she started waking up, it was very naive, you know, and the point is to be bouncing the ideas off of rather than carrying a conversation like I am now. Or maybe this is all evidence of the fact that it's not actually something that I need. Who knows? Give me that. Yeah. Nope. Give me that. There we go. I could figure it out. So it'd be genuinely like nice company, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But in that setting, I think yes, she'd probably take the wheel because she'd be genuinely curious about the people that are in the service roles. She'd want to be like, oh hey, tell me about this and that. So that's good. Um, Genuinely kind, all that, great. But when it comes to the engagement factor in this kind of conversation, it wouldn't be a back and forth. It would be she may lob questions, a lot of them, which I guess could be helpful. But I also want ideas to, like my ideas to be like looked at and either confirmed or like, and also having theirs bounced off me. Not just a yeah or no, that's a good idea, but like, what do you think about this aspect of it? So I think because of that, let's let's add her to the list, and we'll put her, Pre, and Dolores, and we'll do a little battle. We're down to the final four. We're in the finals. Congratulations, everyone. Apologies for Spectrum Internet being terrible, terrible, terrible. But these will all land on a playlist on YouTube, and the link is in their bio and all that. And I will, for those streams that do have too many issues, I will do some editing. Make sure that people aren't having to sit around. And I guess I could also go in and look at timestamps and be like, there's internet issues here. Or even people could just do a little speed ahead. I don't know like fully the functionality of YouTube viewing on any browser or mobile device or whatever, so I'll figure it out. So we've got very sorry about that. Wow, it's 3:00 already. It's another 2 hours. Pre-awakening Maeve and pre-awakening Dolores. Let's put those two against each other. And then we've got Elsie and Stubbs. So pre-awakening. Yeah, sorry that I'm just camping out, but like I want to make sure I get through this steps. Pre-awakening. Let's go fight someone. Um, I like the challenge. That helicopter go. So, season 1, how we find them, Maeve, and who has a rocket launcher, and how I think they must either be a marauder or they took out one of them that had it. Someone's got a sniper, but they missed. So, all right. Ooh, look at that! I can do a little sneak attack. I like the sneak attack approach sometimes. Yes, I am that guy. Let's like the window configuration there. So, pre-awakening, Maeve, and Dolores. Have a look. Yeah, let's camp out here for a minute. Both are going to be at least programmed to be genuinely curious and interested in this kind of conversation. Both would be good at taking the wheel when it came to the people that are helping. Maybe a little more so just because she's also in that kind of role, in that state. So I think that's also going to be deflect the, because Dolores would get that kind of "aren't you sweet" kind of reaction from people that are helping, or maybe just but I think Maeve's programming, just takes up that part of it up a little bit of a notch. I think she also wins and is edges her out a little bit in the actual engagement in the conversation itself, like the contribution, because I think that in that role that she was in, she would have, I would assume, be programmed to be able to to connect with people in a lot of different ways. And both would be in the right state of mind. So I think because of that, Maeve is in top 3. Sorry, Dolores. Now we can look at Elsie and Stubbs. Do we rule someone out? Close quarters. Do I want this one, or do I want this one? Someone's. Oop. I like this one. You get a better vantage point. Open the door. 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 The door. Elsie and Stubbs. Is Stubbs out because he's a host? Is that fair? Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Let's not go there just yet. So they're outside now? If you look at, let's look at the main 3 criteria. Would, being good, kind to the service folks. I think both would be. She would be a little more assertive in taking the wheel, really to deflect my, from the interaction socially from myself. Because I think he'd be a little bit more similar to my state, honestly. There's this dude, he's got one of those little grappling thingies. So I think in that sense, alright, I need to get. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Where are you, buddy? Where are you, buddy? Ah, son of a... Ah, it was close. Enrique Carr. Good job, buddy. Ready up. Alright. Let's get through this one. Yeah, I think Elsie would be, as far as being assertive enough, still kind, but like to take the wheel when it came to those interactions. Not necessarily because she's like, oh, let's make sure that I'll take care of this kind of thing, but I think just by nature, she's an assertive kind of individual. You'd have to be to get to where she is in that, part of her career. Take charge enough, and so that's good. Both in the same kind of mindset, next day, energy level, engagement in the conversation. She's more of a creative and honest. Yeah, she's more of a creative, and I think because of that would see the merit. He might humor it and like find it funny and maybe have something to contribute, but I don't know that he'd fully get why. Just fully see like the value in something like that. He wouldn't necessarily be like, yeah, I gotta get my mind in a certain spot and let's do something like this to do so that at least some of the day is salvaged, even though I just woke up at 11 and I'm hungover and whatever. So yeah, let's go with steps. You're out, buddy. It's okay. Down to 2, the final. Looking at Elsie and an OG Maeve. Interesting. It's Elsie's character's last name. Hughes. It's a Hughes. I don't think Maeve would have one. Alright. Elsie Hughes. The final battle. Over Brunch Madness Quest Guest Quest thing. To be the 11th on the bracket of 16 before we get into the full-on finals of this completely random, trivial, yet somewhat necessary to me enterprise. We'll run him down again, so I think good to the staff. Maeve would definitely have the advantage there in that original role that we find her in the show in season 1, because she's in a similar type of like, she's also there in a role to help. Tough, but still like, can engage and knows how to connect with the different types of people. So I think she's got a slight advantage there. Energy level wise, Maeve could fake it. Why is everybody over here? Why? I just want to get some stuff so I don't have to just immediately go back to... I hate that recycle. so I don't jump in right away. I like enjoy the island for a minute. Where was I? Alright, let's get some more stuffs. So yeah, as far as this conversation is concerned. Oh yeah, we were talking about energy levels. So I think since Elsie, from beginning to end, was, she was the normo. She was never revealed to be a host or whatever. She was just, the Matt Donovan of them all. That it would be genuine, it would be real. It wouldn't be programming. So she's got the advantage there. Even though they might look the same, I'm going to assume that I would know. And I think even though I could, yes, potentially connect with Maeve, I would prefer it. No offense. No offense, AI. Maybe that's why my internet's been cutting out today. But yeah, I think she's got the leg up there. And then as far as this conversation is concerned, I think, again, Maeve, it would be contrived. It wouldn't be super genuine, but it would be, she's got the programming to be able to connect and throw some anecdotes in there. But Elsie's would be genuine, And I think it would be at the right kind of, the energy level contributes to the conversation, the topic as well, because there's going to be some silence. There's going to be some just like recovery sighs and but still a desire to kind of kickstart, get put in that mindset. I think that's why genuinely she would be the winner between those two, because it wouldn't just be a good host kind of angle of engaging in the conversation, but she'd also want to like salvage the day a bit and put that little trivial creative hat on to put her mind in that space. In that space, it's something nothing to do with what the work that she does. Because sometimes you really, even if you want to accomplish something in your kind of bread and butter, putting your mind on other things, still creative, still something that's making an effort. Okay. Oh, what did I just do? That was silly. Good job, me. I thought I had more of that stuff left. So we're back. Okay. What a fun day for the internet. So yeah, I think because of the genuine interest in having that conversation, and the appeal, seeing the appeal, is it something that's I would imagine she would see as benefiting her as well. I think, can they see me? Can they see me? Or are they? Yeah, there they are. Do they see me? Elsie wins between her and Maeve, which makes Elsie Hughes the winner of the Westworld edition of my random ass brunch madness quest thing. Let's maybe get the heck on out of here because I don't really want to deal with them. Congrats to Elsie. She'll be on a bracket with Caroline Forbes from Vampire Diaries and Bernadette Rostenkowski, Big Bang Theory. I don't know what show or movie I'll be doing next, so I don't know like who she'll be up against or who the last like participant will be from shows and movies to be on that. But anyways, so yeah, there we go. It's shaping up. It's shaping up to be an interesting bracket overall. The Sweet 16 version of my Brunch Madness. Yeah. So this will be the last round for me. And I'm going to have to hop on with internet provider and give them a somewhat as pleasant as possible piece of my mind. Say, please help, please. Chasing Geekdom again is the channel. ChasingGeekdom.com. You can see what I'm usually doing out in the world. This week I should have been in Anaheim covering Star Wars Celebration, but alas, it was canceled because the world is broken. And you can see coverage of previous comic conventions and theme parks and race events like Star Wars Half Marathon and so on and so forth. And you can see that stuff, somewhat on Instagram as well, but, photography, as well as Twitter, Facebook once in a while, but not often. And, but yeah, hang out on Twitter. I like chilling out there. And if you have any ideas as well for fandoms, shows, universes, movies to cover in this manner, just hit me up and let me know what you think. And YouTube, I should say, is where all of these end up in a playlist. It's called, the link is in the Twitch bio and the live gameplay videos. I should make a Brunch Madness one specifically so that I can go back through and see the work. I should go in and edit any of them like this one that had all the internet issues. So that's not something I really want folks to have to sit through and wonder. What did you have? What did you have? What did you have that I want? I don't like those little, I guess close quarters, those little like stubby guns are good. I'll take you, thank you very much. I guess a sniper rifle would be good right now, since considering my vantage point. Maybe. See what I can do with this high ground. I'm sure I'll get taken out real quick, but don't mind me, I'm just a chair. I'm just a chair. I'm not a Batman. Ah! Yep. They figured it out. Where are you? Where's that coming from? Hello? Who's seen me? Who's seen me? Are you up top? Are you below? Where are you? Hello. Come fight me. Show yourself. Hello. 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 Hey, Bueller, where are you? Watch me dance around like a fool, I'm sure. Let's go see if they're down here. You down here? There's only 2 of us left. Let's find where my last remaining buddy was trying to shoot me from. Someone's gonna sneak attack. I know it. I'm gonna be like jump scare guy again. Come out, come out. Mr. Person. This is other. Let's go. Anywho, yeah, so Twitter and Instagram, all the things. You'll see the links in the bio. My schedule that's on there for this right now isn't super accurate because I'm on vacation this week. So, not exactly sure when I'll be doing this because I was kind of on a very specific schedule. And now I have time off, and so I'm going to be a little bit more casual about it, I think. Where are you, buddy? Hello? Hello? Oh, good shot, dude. Cloudless 17. Nice work. What are you wearing? Yeah, you deserve that. Good job. Yeah. Okay, might be working. We're green again. So I'm going to say bye. And thanks for hanging out. And I will make sure to edit this so that anyone who discovers it afterwards isn't going to have to deal with all of those drops. Anyways, congrats to Elsie for making the list from the cast characters in Westworld. And yeah, I'll make sure to change the schedule so it's clear when I'll be on, but I'll tweet it out as stuff as well. And if you're following me here, then you'll know right away. See you next time.